I'm Victoria Coren Mitchell. In the news this week, in Wiltshire, on a Cabinet Office day out, the Prime Minister regrets letting Dominic Raab lead the team-building exercise. At a shopping centre in Kettering, Keir Starmer decides now's the time to show off his genital piercing. And in Salonika, one goat farmer meets opposition to his plans to move all the female goats to a different enclosure.
Zapatero, ¿qué opina usted del gobierno de Zapatero?
On Ian's team is a stand-up comedian who is also qualified in forensic science and pathology. So if one of the jokes dies tonight, at least she can tell us what of. Please welcome Ria Lina. And on Paul's team tonight is a political journalist who has recently become a new father. It's hard. They sleep all day, only waking up to scream and demand food. But sometimes they help with the baby. Please welcome Tim Shipman. We begin with the bigger news stories of the week. Ian and Ria, have a look at this.
Right, it's Prime Minister getting the drink in. Cat being questioned by the policeman. Have you been to any parties? No.
Nadine Dorries misunderstanding culture. That's how many rishis it takes to make one normal-sized person.
So this is the government, and I think the main issue is Partygate, which just won't go away. And people keep bringing it up to embarrass the government time after time. Why they do it, you know, I mean, let's move on. Actually, let's not, let's go back. Anyway, the police have issued some fixed penalties. 20?
At the moment, there might be more.
Yeah.
One of them was Helen McNamara. What position did she hold in number 10?
She was head of ethics. I know, it's a brilliant joke and true.
Director General of Propriety and Ethics. And what was she responsible for at a party?
The pizza.
I think she was responsible for the karaoke.
Do you remember karaoke, which turned a simple leaving drinks into a raucous party?
And they're still asking people, do you remember being at the party? And they're like, oh, I can't remember if I was at the party. Why can't you remember where you were at a year ago? I mean, there were so many parties happening at number 10. It must have been like Woodstock. You know what I mean? Like, if you can remember working for Boris Johnson during the pandemic, you really weren't there.
Will there be other names leaking out, do you think?
Yes, all the people admitting it are women. And all the men who turned up said, well, we only popped in, and it wasn't very serious. So Mark Sedwill, who was the former Cabinet Secretary, he attended the same party that these people have been fined for, but he wasn't there very long, so, you know.
Do we know if he's got a notice?
He hasn't got a notice, no.
And what about, what's his name? The Prime Minister. Well, why shouldn't we know? I mean, I don't understand why suddenly civil servants who make the rules are immune from being named. I mean, I have lots of friends who the police moved on. You know, a friend who kept sitting down in the park and the policeman said, get up, you're not exercising. And he said, I'm tired.
Do you have lots of friends who are approached by the police in the exercise yard?
Who, do you know, has been leaping to the Prime Minister's defence again this week?
Oh, it must be Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Do you know what he said?
God knows, who cares?
Jacob Rees-Mogg said on LBC, just because he's passed on information that turned out to be incorrect does not mean he's made a deliberate effort to mislead.
There was a great one from Dominic Raab who said that the Prime Minister had been as honest as he could be.
Do you want to see what happened when Maria Caulfield MP tried to make this same point on Question Time? Let's have a look.
But, you know, I mean, he genuinely did not believe that there was wrongdoing that's happened.
When people laugh when you say he said he didn't believe he was at a party, I mean, what does that make you think?
Look, I mean, he has, you know,
No, I'm asking you about their response.
I mean, as I've said, I fully understand the anger and the frustration.
That was laughter, that was ridicule. They don't believe him.
But is the Prime Minister under threat? I mean, how's Rishi Sunak doing? Should we have a look at this poll? It was grassroots Tories saying how they felt.
Yeah.
Let's have a look how everyone's doing. Let's find Rishi Sunak. Oh, I can't see him there. He's down. And oh, there he is. Yeah.
Just above Priti Patel.
Marks and Spencers are doing quite well, aren't they? 28%.
And it's surely his popularity. I mean, he gave money out in the pandemic. Everyone went, woo, and now he's taken money away and they don't like him. Like, it's not hard to figure out why nobody likes him anymore. You know what I mean? He was just a lockdown fad, all right? Like sourdough, like the Tiger King. Unless he's the Tinder swindler, nobody cares anymore, right? He's the taxer maxer now.
Yeah.
He's the budget fumbler. He's the exchequer fecker. It's the most he can hope for.
And this was before something else has happened that might be a bit damaging to Rishi Sunak. What's that?
Well, his wife, it turns out, is a non-dom. So whilst living in Downing Street, she is claiming that for tax purposes she lives in India in order to pull the wool over the tax authorities who report to her own husband lying in the bed next to her. That's about the crux of it.
I was very confused by this because I thought non-dom meant that she wasn't sleeping with Dominic Raab. And I thought, what a strange thing to have to say publicly. I got very confused.
What move by the government are people saying is revenge for negative coverage?
Well, that's the reference to the Culture Secretary, who's appeared and said that Channel 4 is being privatised. And I feel, you know, most people in this country at this moment, you know, with fuel bills going up and a war on in the Ukraine, are really saying to themselves, I wish they'd privatised Channel 4.
It's all very odd as well, isn't it? Because Channel 4 is all young people and wall-to-wall sex, drugs and gratuitous nudity. You would have thought Boris Johnson loved it.
It's been a while since I've seen Channel 4 news. Is that what it's like? I'm surprised he got time for the weather.
Should we allow Nadine Dorries to explain the sound reasons behind the sell-off? She makes it all very clear. Let's have a look.
I think the future and the longevity of that broadcasting should be brought into question and should be, particularly when it's a receipt of taxpayers' money, it is our responsibility to evaluate whether taxpayers are receiving value for money.
But Channel 4 is not like the BBC. It's not in receipt of licence fee money. It makes its money from commercial operations.
And so, although it's, and...
Now, what about the curious case of David Warburton MP? What can you tell me about him?
They're taking A-class drugs.
A-class drugs, that's it, cocaine.
But it's a wonderful picture of a baking tray turned upside down with 3 lines on it, and I thought it was baking powder.
Or it could be flour.
It could be flour, but either way, they're both self-raising.
This is the news that one of the fines for Downing Street parties has been handed out to Helen McNamara, Whitehall's former head of ethics, which is now causing sleepless nights for Whitehall's head of irony. Civil servants have warned that the dribbling out by police of information about who did what when is in danger of turning into a game of Whitehall Cluedo. Boris Johnson in the Cabinet Office with a spanner, or Matt Hancock, as he was also known. Paul and Tim, take a look at this.
Yeah. OK, there's Boris guaranteeing gas being supplied to people. Just stop us unfolding this sign.
If I take my hat off, my hair is this big.
And that's going to solve our energy crisis. There we go.
I think that's Priti Patel sending someone to Rwanda.
Yeah, even the cow backs away from him.
Would you like to be Chancellor of the Exchequer?
Energy supplies, we're going to build more nuclear reactors. They're going to invest more in wind farms.
A floating wind farm, no less.
Whereabouts?
In the Irish Sea. The obvious place to put a floating wind farm.
Fantastic.
And in the meeting a week or so ago, they said, well, there's a lot of bird life there. And the Prime Minister's answer to this was, can't the birds just fly a bit higher?
He really is a details guy, isn't he?
Didn't they put a moratorium on onshore wind farms in 2015? Which has just meant that we've actually been using more fossil fuels lately, which of course is impacting climate change, which in turn impacts sea levels. So if he just waits long enough, all those onshore wind farms will be offshore wind farms anyway.
Well, he has said, Boris Johnson, that he wants to keep fracking on the table.
As long as it doesn't interfere with dinner.
What does Grant Shapps say about wind turbines?
Don't know.
He says they're an eyesore, but that's OK, because the Business Secretary, Kwasi Kwarteng, says that they're going to be in Scotland.
There's a lot of people in Westminster talking about the untapped sources of energy that we could actually use. And all I can say today is that when Liz Truss heard about Rishi Sunak's tax problems, she had a billion gigawatt smile. And if we could tap into that, we'd never need any other source of energy ever again.
But she doesn't smile, does she, Liz Truss?
She's a bit like Posh Spice, isn't she? She's always doing a selfie and never smiling.
Yeah.
Of course, there is an urgency in weaning the UK off its, reliance on energy from Russia.
Yes.
And restrictions on imports have been put in place. What is Labour's position on the rationing of gas and electricity?
They were for it. They wanted coupons. They wanted back to 1940. Fuel rationing across the whole country.
Well, they did.
I've made that up.
No, well, here is the Shadow Business Secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, on the BBC's Sunday morning programme.
The Germans, the Austrians, the Dutch, they're talking about plans to potentially ration oil and gas. Should we be preparing to do the same?
We should be making those plans, and the government should be preparing, not necessarily in public, for that situation.
And here is Jonathan Reynolds an hour later on Times Radio.
Should we be rationing our energy?
No, I mean, that would be a disaster for households and businesses.
Oh! Who is this?
Are you doing an impression? Oh, I see, down here. I'm sorry, I got confused.
That is Cameron Ford from Insulate Britain.
Oh, OK.
Let's hear what he's got to say.
My name's Cameron Ford, and I've just been to the Magistrates' Court in Crawley, and I frankly just told them what a waste of time and money it is. That's, I think it's all a bit of a farce. That's why I've not really dressed very appropriately for being in front of a judge. But you need to insulate Britain. That is the top and bottom.
And he's right, there was no insulation in the energy plans announced. But anyway, he's got a very nice tie on. People look more stupid at the Grammys.
We've seen Cameron Ford before.
Have we?
Yes. Do you remember this?
Morning, Mike.
Oh, hello. What are you glued to, Cameron?
Just your screen, unfortunately.
Unfortunately? What do you do for a living, Cameron?
I'm a carpenter.
A carpenter, right. So how safe is that for the climate?
Well, I work with timber, which is a much more sustainable material rather than concrete. I also
But you work with trees that have been cut down then, don't you?
It's a sustainable building practice.
How is it sustainable if you're killing trees?
Because it's regenerative, you can grow trees.
Right. Well, you can grow all sorts of things, can't you?
Well, you can't grow concrete.
Okay. See you, Cameron. Cheerio.
Honestly, that's just ridiculous. What has happened to the Isle of Wight's 3 electric chargers?
Oh, yes. Somebody's hacked into them. I don't really understand how this is. And they started showing pornographic films.
That's it.
You thought I was making it up, didn't you?
The Isle of Wight Council said staff are due to visit the charge points as a matter of urgency. This is the news that in the week that household energy bills doubled, the government immediately leapt into action, promising a radical solution by 2050. According to The Times, the government has proposed to double our onshore wind capacity rather than treble it, as they previously pledged, with the bulk of new turbines in Scotland. Trust me, Prime Minister, now is not the time to rely on energy from a hostile foreign country. One firm is trying to fight global warming by breeding non-flatulent cows. Meanwhile, another company has had the far better idea of developing extra flatulent cows and pointing them at our wind turbines. And on to round 2, it's a welcome return for the Connections game Merely Link. Buzz, well, you know what it is.
Oh, yes, Prince Charles and Camilla visited the set of the EastEnders, and, yeah, he said my great-grandmother was the Queen Victoria. I didn't realise up to now that she was actually a pub.
And what did Danny Dyer have to say about the royal visit?
Didn't he find he was descended from George II or something?
William the Conqueror, he said it from, yeah.
I think he said I'm 147,000th in line for the throne.
He did say that. But he also
Did he?
said...
That's one ahead of Prince Andrew.
Danny Dyer described meeting the royal couple as very random, adding, they got mad faces when you're close.
Is that how he talks like that? Does he talk like that? You're doing a lot of impressions tonight, aren't you?
I'm a chameleon.
Yeah.
While we're on the subject of the royals,
Yeah.
what have we heard about a payment of £750,000 into Prince Andrew's bank account?
Well, we've heard that it was a bit dodgy, and it came from a Mr. Turk from Turkey. I mean, we have to be fair. There is a version of events that said he gave this money as a wedding present. And I think most of us have had a £750,000 wedding present. And it's on the list just below placemats from your aunt.
There's a court case going on where a Turkish millionaire has accused Mr. Turk, her former financial advisor, of fraud. She paid the money over to Prince Andrew. She said that Mr. Turk told her she was paying Prince Andrew for helping her get a passport.
Oh, really? Well, that's fine then.
Yeah. The Duke has since returned the money, and there is no suggestion of wrongdoing on his part. First time for everything. And how did Prince Andrew know Mr. Turk? According to the Sunday Telegraph, they were introduced by a convicted Libyan gun smuggler. It's classic Andrew. Finally, we say goodbye this week to one of the nation's most beloved actors, June Brown, who played Dr. Cotton in EastEnders. Why did her obituary in the Times go viral?
Different June Brown?
It was the same June Brown.
Right.
The obituary said this. June Brown, the actress best known for playing Dot Cotton, the world-weary, Bible-reading, chain-smoking laundrette manager in EastEnders, has died, aged 95. As a child, there was nothing Brown-like better than putting a rabbit in a biscuit tin, gassing it to death and then cutting it up.
This was before you had social media, isn't it?
This came from an interview where June Brown had once asked what she'd enjoyed at school, and she'd enjoyed biology and dissection, and it was taken slightly out of context. This week, Charles and Camilla visited the EastEnders set. Prince Andrew is keen to be part of the Queen's Jubilee celebrations and reportedly hopes to play a part at the Derby. Well, if he wants to get the feminists back on board, he could always throw himself in front of a horse. Things on Buzz's teams. Here's the next Merely link. Paul and Tim.
Oh, yes, this is John Travolta, who bizarrely has visited a Morrison's in Norfolk. I mean, I was slightly surprised he was in the UK at all, because I assumed he preferred Greece.
That definitely won't be going out.
You see, but that's I like a high-quality pun. What did the Times say? What was their headline? I know you can do this, Tim.
Saturday night freezer section.
It's... Travolta thrills are multiplying as star films in Norfolk. Whereas I think the Daily Mail couldn't really be bothered. They went with unexpected superstar in the bagging area.
Is that true? He was in Wetherspoons first?
Yes. Well, he visited... He did. He popped into a Wetherspoons. I mean, good luck with your dancing feet on that sticky carpet. He's obviously... He's filming something. He's visiting the local hotspots. Shall we see a description from the security guard at Morrison's, Gary Middleton, about what happened?
Over at Morrison's in Fakenham, Gary, the security guard, didn't quite believe it was him.
I had a quick look and thought, no, that's not John Travolta. So I walked off. Met him again, and he put his hand out to me to shake my hand, which was really nice of him. He signed a packet of sausage rolls for a lady.
I think all news should be like this. It'd be brilliant. What do you think John Travolta was buying at Morrison's?
You say buying, but the security guard had to go up to him twice.
Yeah.
You're the one that I want.
But what was the downside of this lovely story? It stirred up terrible jealousy in Cambridgeshire.
Oh, did it?
Yes, the website Cambridgeshire Live posted an article listing 27 times A-list celebrities have been spotted in Cambridgeshire, including Lloyd Grossman, Robson Green and Mark Charnock from Emmerdale.
A-list celebrities.
They walk
No,
into
it's just
Cambridgeshire.
a list.
No, yeah, oh,
This is the sighting of Hollywood superstar John Travolta in Norfolk. Norfolk, famous for its turkeys, where he's currently making one. While filming in Norfolk, Scientologist John Travolta visited a Wetherspoons pub, although he ran out 5 minutes later after hearing some of Tim Martin's crazy beliefs. Time now for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. Your four are Justin Bieber, inventor of the top hat John Hetherington, footballer Calvin Phillips, and Matt Hancock.
Only one of them needs a T-shirt to remind himself who he is.
Yes. And that's why people keep walking all over him. We don't know why.
If this is thing...
I'm sorry if you feel you're not getting your money's worth.
Justin Bieber was seen at the Grammys wearing a suit that didn't fit. Very, very, very big jacket and huge trousers.
It was a custom-made Balenciaga outfit, I should just say.
Oh, is it? Really? Did they get the measurements wrong?
Yeah.
People didn't like this outfit. Someone wore the first top hat. Someone said, oh, take it off. You look like Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Didn't top hats scare people when they first had them?
No, according to the Huddersfield Chronicle of 1797...
Oh, I remember getting it.
On seeing the hat, dogs yelped and several women fainted.
Where did they put the hat?
So what's the odd one out?
Oh, there's Calvin Phillips as well. Didn't he wear something stupid recently? Enormous pair of shoes, I think. Oh, they're the shoes.
Oh, blimey.
Do you want a pair of those shoes, Ian? Very fashionable.
No, people will think they're pasties. Come and steal them from me.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're nice, but at least take them out of the bag first. They have all caused a fashion sensation, apart from Matt Hancock, who was deemed to be sensationally unfashionable. Here's Matt Hancock's outfit that got him into trouble. Someone on Twitter said he looked like the new corrupt member of AC-12 who gets bumped off in episode 3. Matt Hancock wore this outfit to go on a podcast, Diary of a CEO.
They spelt that wrong.
Do you want to see him squirming about in the turtleneck?
Yeah.
Here he is.
You just start this section again.
How would you like to start it?
I don't mind all of it except the opening bit about casual sex.
OK, fine.
I haven't had casual sex with anybody.
OK.
I fell in love with somebody.
Myself.
The thing about it is it makes it so much worse for his poor wife. You know, it's bad enough that he just dumped a minute and left, and there were pictures of him just groping and fiddling in his office.
That was another impression, did you see that?
I don't think it's the turtleneck that's the problem.
I do like the phrase casual sex, though, and he objected to it, because obviously what he wants to have is more formal sex.
In a top hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, knock that off, lady.
Do you know when John Hetherington invented the top hat?
Yes, 1782.
1797.
Well, yeah, but it didn't work at first.
According to the Huddersfield Chronicle of 1797, when John Hetherington wore London's first ever top hat, several women fainted. A female reaction not repeated in this country until that time Ian Hislop undid his top button at the Cheltenham Literary Festival. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication the newsletter of the Shropshire Mammal Society. And we start with German scientists discover that fish can what?
German scientists discovered that fish can sign legal documents. Add up.
Yes, German scientists discover that fish can do maths. According to new research, fish can do basic addition and subtraction using the numbers 1 to 5, or, as the Daily Star described it to their readers, tricky sums.
In terms of evolution, why is it important that fish can add up?
It's not so much that they need to add and subtract, it's that they think they might be able to recognize patterns on the sides of other fish and go, oh, no, that one's Dave. Dave has 3 spots, and that one's, you know, Brenda. Brenda has 4. That's what they think it is. It's so they can tell Dave and Brenda apart. Otherwise, that's an awkward party.
It's like that old joke about two goldfish going around in a little, glass bowl, and somebody says, well, the one in front's called Bob. They said, how do you know that? He said, well, the one behind keeps going,
Next, workmen damage rare dinosaur footprints while what?
While mucking about, having a laugh.
The opposite.
Not having a laugh.
Working hard.
Not mucking about. Working too hard.
Yes, but I know Ria said that first. I'm going to give it to you for working hard. It's specifically workmen damage rare dinosaur footprints while constructing walkway to view rare dinosaur footprints. Next, sweaty goats smell nicer than what, say Oxford scientists?
Cambridge scientists. There's a tense rivalry between the two.
Yeah, it's the goat race.
Yeah. That was an interesting reaction. Started off as a groan. They thought about it. Thought, no, they deserve a clap.
This is green peppers.
What peppers? Some people have got too much time in their hands, haven't they?
Next, as a fully paid-up member of Shropshire Mammal Society, you're entitled to what?
You're entitled to a free weasel pushed through your letterbox.
I'm going to give you the point.
Really?
As a fully paid-up member of Shropshire Mammal Society, you are entitled to view Rick's webinar, An Introduction to Identification of Bone Remains from the Pellets of British Owls, for free.
Yeah, that's exactly the same as a free weasel for your letterbox.
And if you want to find it online, it's on a website titled The End of the Internet. So, looking at the final scores, Ian and Ria have 6, Paul and Tim are the winners with 8.
No. Well done.
Before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
School for retired air hostesses open in Blackpool.
Next.
Oh, bloody Joanna Lumley, she's in everything.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Ria Lina, Paul Merton and Tim Shipman. And I leave you with news that in a Westminster tea room, Theresa May wonders for the first time if she is perhaps not the most boring person in the conversation. As Downing Street's Chief of Staff assures the public that the culture of drinking and excessive socialising is now a thing of the past, civil servants arrive for Friday afternoon's final meeting. And at a police station in Karachi, an old lady realises it could have been any of the men in the identity parade who stole her pet budgie. Good night.
Hit play and go on a nostalgia trip with Sounds 90s Day on Radio 2. Listen now on BBC Sounds. Well, on BBC One next tonight, would you like to be Lee's new friend? Then stick around for Not Going Out.
Scientists discovered that fish can sign legal documents. Add up.
Yes. German scientists discover that fish can do maths. According to new research, fish can do basic addition and subtraction using the numbers 1 to 5, or, as the Daily Star described it to their readers, tricky sums.
In terms of evolution, why is it important that fish can add up?
It's not so much that they need to add and subtract, it's that they think they might be able to recognize patterns on the sides of other fish and go, oh, no, that one's Dave. Dave has 3 spots, and that one's, you know, Brenda. Brenda has 4. That's what they think it is. It's so that they can tell Dave and Brenda apart. Otherwise, that's an awkward party.
It's like the old joke about 2 goldfish going around in a little, you know, glass bowl, and somebody says, well, the one in front's called Bob. They said, how do you know that? He said, well, the one behind keeps going,
Next, workmen damage rare dinosaur footprints while what?
While mucking about, having a laugh.
The opposite.
Not having a laugh.
Working hard.
Not mucking about. Working too hard.
Yes, but I know Ria said that first. I'm going to give it to you for working hard. It's specifically workmen damage rare dinosaur footprints while constructing walkway to view rare dinosaur footprints. Next, sweaty goats smell nicer than what, say Oxford scientists?
Cambridge scientists. There's a tense rivalry between the two.
Yeah, it's the goat race.
Yeah. That was an interesting reaction. Started off as a groan. They thought about it. Thought, no, they deserve a clap.
This is green peppers.
What peppers? Some people have got too much time in their hands, haven't they?
Next, as a fully paid-up member of Shropshire Mammal Society, you're entitled to what?
You're entitled to a free weasel pushed through your letterbox.
I'm going to give you the point.
Really?
As a fully paid-up member of Shropshire Mammal Society, you are entitled to view Rick's webinar, An Introduction to Identification of Bone Remains from the Pellets of British Owls, for free.
That's exactly the same as a free weasel for your letterbox.
And if you want to find it online, it's on a website titled The End of the Internet. So, looking at the final scores, Ian and Ria have 6, Paul and Tim are the winners with 8.
No. Well done.
Before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
School for retired air hostesses open in Blackpool.
Next.
Oh, bloody Joanna Lumley, she's in everything.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Ria Lina, Paul Merton and Tim Shipman. And I leave you with news that in a Westminster tea room, Theresa May wonders for the first time if she is perhaps not the most boring person in the conversation. As Downing Street's Chief of Staff assures the public that the culture of drinking and excessive socialising is now a thing of the past, civil servants arrive for Friday afternoon's final meeting. And at a police station in Karachi, an old lady realises it could have been any of the men in the identity parade who stole her pet budgie. Good night.
Hit play and go on a nostalgia trip with Sounds 90s Day on Radio 2. Listen now on BBC Sounds. Well, on BBC One next tonight, would you like to be Lee's new friend? Then stick around for Not Going Out.